Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to my shop. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Bosch quick change bushing guides. It comes in this kit and it mounts onto my Bosch 1617 router. I'll show you how this works, how easy it is to use and set up. One of the first steps in setting up your router is to make sure that your base plate is centered on your router shaft. And I'll show you how we do this. You want to get this good and centered because whether you're following a pattern using bushing guides or if you're following a straight edge for making grooves or dados, if you're not straight on this, you can be off by quite a bit. And it depends on the tolerance of the fit that you need. That could be a disaster if you're off, especially for following straight edges. If this is perfectly centered all the way around, doesn't matter how you have your router turned as you're going along that straight edge, you're always going to be right on because you'll be centered on your router shaft. So I'll show you how to get this centered up. Okay, one of the first things we're going to need to do is to basically take this fixed base off. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you using the fixed base on this Bosch router. And this is all really relative to this particular Bosch router. It's a 1617. Also, I'm going to be showing you how to use these quick change bushing guides and using this centering pin for getting this all centered up and good and center. So the first thing I got to do is to remove this fixed base from here so I can get this centering pin installed in here. And I'm going to use the 1/4 inch collet. Get this in there. Get it snug. It doesn't have to be real tight since we're not going to be cutting anything on this. Now this comes as a 2-piece kit, whereas this cone comes off and it's made of plastic, which kind of disappoints me. Better if it was metal. The pin is metal, but this cone is plastic. So once you put this together, I would leave it together, not take it apart for storage or anything like that, because every time you take this off and put it back together again, you're going to have a little bit of wear, and eventually it's going to get sloppy on you. So you want to, once you put this on, leave it on there. So I've got that tightened on there. I'm going to put this fixed base back on. Get that on there. I'm going to lower this down and then snap up into a position. Loosen up these 4 screws on top here. And these are a number 2 Torx bit. And these have, they're like a pan head screw. They're flat on the bottom. And then the plate itself, the holes that we're using are like flat bottom holes too. So that allows you to get some adjustment here and make some movements so we can align this up correctly. So I'm going to raise or lower this centering pin or the base plate itself by adjusting this screw here, and that'll raise it up and it'll get it so it's snug on that cone there. Don't need to get it real tight, just snug. Once everything looks like it's good and lined up, then go ahead and tighten these screws down. Now I just kind of snug them a little bit each time, and then I'll tighten them down tighter. Okay, now I can loosen this down. I can take this base off. Got my base plate centered on there based on the shaft here. So now I can take the centering pin out. And now I can start putting together the parts for the quick change adapter for the bushing guides. I'm going to show that to you while I've got it apart here, so give you a better, easier view on how I do this. I'm going to change my view here and get closer in. Alright, now I will take this base that came in this kit. There's all these parts here, and this quick change adapter was a part of that, and it's wrapped in some plastic for protection. And it's got this knob here that you operate for letting things release and go in and out. So what I have to do first is to mount this into this plate here. It's got these two holes here, and it fits into the middle of this. Now these are a couple of Phillips screws. So I'll select my Phillips bit, take these screws out. Now I'll insert this inside this plate here with this handle part facing down. So I'm going to slip it in underneath here with that handle part facing down. Get this lined up here for the image so you can see that knob there for operating it. Then I'm going to do is to line up the holes for the screws for mounting this in here. So I've got these holes lined up here for these two screws. I'll get these fastened in here. Okay, got that. Get the other one in here. I'm going to lay these a little bit loose as I get these both lined up, and then I can snug them. Now this quick change insert here is perfectly lined up. The plate is lined up with the shaft of the router bit, and this plate's lined up in here also now. Now to put these bushing guides in here, it's just a matter of setting it on top here, and there is a couple of small like pins in here. See, one on each side here. And what you want to do is to line those with these pin parts here to line this up correctly. And what I want to do as I'm putting that in there is to hold this knob so that's in an open position. Then I can slip this in, drop it, just drops right in into those, and then you can release that knob, give it a little bit of a push, and that locks it in there very solidly. And you can see, if you can see it, a little bit of a protrusion here so it can follow a template. Now take it out again, just need to push this knob, and this just drops right out very easily. So that's how that works. Next, what you can do is put your router bit into your router here and get that tightened up. Then you can just put your base onto there and get adjusted to the height that you need for doing the job at hand, whether you're following a template or bushing guides or whatever else. That's how quick and easy this works. This also comes with a bushing guide here you can use for the standard Porter cable bushing guide sets, and you can just insert this in here same way, it's lining up these pins, just dropping it in and letting that lever go, locking it in place there. Now you can use standard Porter cable bushing guides in here. So I can grab and drop in this standard Porter cable bushing guide. Fits in fairly snugly. And then get the knurled nut installed on the bottom side here. Now you can use other bushing guides that you may have, because this set may not have all the bushing guides you want. Also, you may notice that some of these bushing guides, the guide itself sticks up quite a bit ways, more so than some of the others. Now this one is for a dovetail jig for following that. And depends on the thickness of the guide that you're following. You may not have that much room for this bushing guide to be extending out very much. I know, particularly on like some of my sign jigs that I have, the bushing guide is quite shallow there, so you can't have it sticking out too far. Otherwise, it's not going to be very effective for you. So with various bushing guides, you can have various depths that are going to be sticking out, depending on the application and what patterns you're going to be following. That pretty much wraps that up. Very, I think, great how we can change these out very quickly and so forth, and also that this comes with ability to use standard Porter cable bushing guides. And also I was impressed, by the fact that this is a quick change setup, that everything fits together very tightly. There's no play or wobble in it. It's very close tolerance to it, which I was kind of concerned about that, but it holds in very well. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you got the inspiration to do something with your router. If you did, please give me a like and share it with your family, friends, and fellow craftspersons. Also, please subscribe to see what I may come up with next. And be sure to hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on anything. Also, I greatly appreciate all your comments. I get a lot of great ideas and tips and tricks from you. If the ladies don't find you handsome, at least they should find you handy. Thank you.